Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Sage Goddess 2021 1111 Divine Manifestation and Synchronicity Ceremony. And today we are doing something new. You know, I've been celebrating 1111 with you for, I don't know, almost the whole decade that we've been together. Haven't we been doing this? And, you know, each year I try to have a new spin, right? Something new for you to think about, a new concept. Today it's a new form of sacred geometry that we're working with called the Penteract. And what I want to tell you is it doesn't matter what time you watch this video or do this ceremony, as long as it's on 11/11. That's the most important thing. So even if it's midnight tonight, you're not late. Just the energy of today is what matters. And so we have this 24-hour period. I want to tell you that the Penteract, and I want to thank you, by the way, for joining this ceremony too and doing this work, because you benefit from this. You know, when we harness the energy of a day like today, and 1111, that 1111, we know that our universe is geometric. We know that our universe is mathematic, right? So numbers and shapes have a lot of meaning to this magical cosmos that we live in together, right? And so when we harness the energy of numbers and geometry, I really think we activate a new level and layer of wisdom that maybe hasn't been activated before. So I'm going to show you the tools that we're working with tonight. I hope you're excited. This is the grid. If you got your tools, this is the Penteract grid that came with your set. And so I'll show that to you here. The Penteract, what you're going to notice is that there's actually 10 places around our grid to place crystals. Let me show it here. It might be easier. Right, so this is a 5D hypercube. Again, called Penteract because pente in Greek is 5. So pentagon is a 5-sided polygon, right? So Penteract is a 5-sided hypercube. What's interesting is, even though it's 5-sided, what you're going to find when we grid together today is there's actually 10 points around the center point, and that's what we're going to be working with for our grid. And so what I'm doing is I'm placing each of our 5 crystals one space apart. If you have other crystals you want to add to this, like let's say you're manifesting abundance, you may want to add 5 pieces of citrine. Let's say you're manifesting love. You may want to add 5 pieces of rose quartz, or 5 pieces of morganite, or 5 pieces of demantoid garnet, which we know attracts new love into your life, right? So you can completely customize this grid and customize, to that extent, the entire process of today's ceremony to really focus on the area or the energy that you're trying to attract. So this is the grid that we're working with. If you're working with your own tools, that's okay too. I'm going to be drumming. We're going to be opening a circle tonight for you so that you can raise the energy. That's what we do. The whole reason that we do ceremony, that we open a circle, that we grid, that we activate grids, right? What we're doing is we are telling the universe energies should gather here, right? And then we're dictating kind of like what are the terms of that energy or the themes of that energy. And on a day like today, when there's already this really incredible vibration for synchronicity, for alignment, 1111 is a soulmate number, for sure. If you see 1111 on your clock all the time, for a lot of us that means that there's someone thinking of you, and they're trying to bring that attention to your awareness. And so I think it's a perfect day to attract love, but it's a perfect day really to attract anything that you're trying to bring into your vibrational space. So I'll show you the rest of the tools. So this is the grid, and these are the stones. What you received with your kit are 5 quartz points, and tonight we're going to make 5 wishes together. Oops, I only grabbed 4 of my quartz points. Well, I'll work with 4, you work with 5. And then we have a quartz generator in the middle. We have our 5 stones that came with your kit, which are columbianite, which is one of the tektites. It's actually very similar to moldavite, same kind of origin story, so it has this extraterrestrial multidimensional energy about it. Apophyllite, which is one of my favorite stones of ascension, comes from India. We'll talk about that in a minute. Barite, which is just going to help you drop in tonight. Barite's one of those stones that really helps you move from waking state consciousness, which is beta state, into alpha and theta state, which are more of your deeper meditative states. And I want that for you today. I want you to drop in and really feel connected. Scolasite, which is a Synergy 12 stone of ascension. Again, we're moving through dimensions tonight, going from 3D, just kind of where we live as humans, right? Into fifth dimension, and I'll explain that in just a second. And then Dambarite, which is also Synergy 12, is in your kit, and that is the stone that removes unwanted or unnecessary energy from your field. Come to me, camera. You see me? There we go. Come into focus, camera. Come back, come back. There we are. So Dambarite's going to help you remove energy that isn't in alignment with your goals and your visions and your intentions for today's energy and today's ceremony. So that's an important crystal for you to work with too. If you want to activate your grid in the way that I teach, you will need a double terminated quartz point or wand. This is the one I'm working with. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You just want something that's going to be able to send and receive and transmit energy. The perfume that we're working with tonight, I designed 5D. You know, I was really thinking about when I made this perfume, and by the way, the notes in this perfume I'll walk you through in just a second, but I was really thinking about when we leave third dimension, okay, there are, to my knowledge, 12 dimensions of reality in our cosmos. Even beyond our cosmos. I mean, in this broader concept that we call the multiverse, right? There are 12 dimensions that I've been taught and shown in various journeys and experiences I've had. And so the lowest dimensions of reality are really the human and plant and mineral dimensions, right? 1D, 2D, 3D. When you leave third dimension, what you'll notice first energetically is that time starts to have a different meaning. Like you lose time, or time goes faster, or time slows down, or you learn how to modulate time, right? If you're somewhere and you want time to go more slowly, you learn how to toggle that so that you can actually have a relationship with time, and you can learn how to manage time. Time is uniquely a human phenomenon. When we venture into the spirit world, what we call the auric field or the etheric realm, there's no time there. And think about it this way too, like if you've lost a loved one, they no longer are bound by our human systems of time and space, right? So they can be everywhere at once. There's no o'clock, which for people like me who really don't like time anyway and really struggle with it, I don't like time. I don't like having alarms. I don't like having a schedule, right? And I think it's for a lot of us who've had these multidimensional experiences where our relationship with time is complicated. So when you go into the fourth dimension, you lose track of time because it's different, it's fluid. We don't have hours and minutes and days and weeks and months and years, right? And then when you go into the fifth dimension, that's where we lose space. So it's not like, well, if I'm in Los Angeles, California, I can't also be in Washington, D.C. or off of this planet completely in another space-time continuum, right? Like I can only be one place at one time. Fifth dimension tells us that that's not true, right? Because we lose these spatial boundaries and limits. And so what we're doing tonight with this ceremony is acknowledging the fact that a lot of us feel like we're kind of living in 4D already because time is being slippery with us. And then a lot of us feel like we're having these really intense synchronistic experiences where we are here and there at the same time, and that is 5D, right? And again, our spirit knows these dimensions. You had to come down through these dimensions to be born. And then when you pass away, you will go back through these dimensions as you ascend back into your higher spiritual form of your soul's pure essence, right? And so you know these things to be true, and tonight we're just playing with them. I'm somebody who likes to play. I like to experiment. It must be my Sagittarius moon. But I like to play with, so what is time? And can we bend time? Can we mold time? Can we play with time? What is space? Can we play with space? Can we... And my mom passed away in August, as you know, a lot of you know, and I've been experiencing her in this kind of multidimensional sense. And so I feel like she's teaching me too about like letting go of some of these hard fixed concepts around time and space, and realizing that when we think of the spiritual world, we often look up, right? Like it's somewhere above us. It's not above you. It's right next to you. It's literally in the same room with you. The only reason you can't see and touch and feel the spirit world is because you're in this human body, and this human body has had to slow down its vibration so much to do this thing that we're doing, this human lifetime, that we just can't see the things that are vibrating so much higher than we are. Does that make sense? So tonight I kind of want to take you into a different dimensional space. And this is where a lot of my own personal work with my teachers has been going. This is where some of my teaching next year is going to be going, is like, how do we start to work in this multidimensional space? Because I think the reality is our planet is already moving in this direction. And as usual with humans, like, we catch up later, right? Like, oh, this is happening. Now we're in a different dimensional zone. So that's why your candle, by the way, is called Accelerate. Because when you start moving in these different dimensional spaces, you're going to notice, like, days are going by faster. When people come into Sage Goddess, they're often like, wow, I feel like I got here at 3 o'clock and now it's 6 o'clock. Like, how did that happen? And my team notices it too. Like, they have to try to keep up with the clock. And so when you're in a space that has a different dimensional capacity, you experience time and space differently. So 5D perfume, I want to walk you through it. 5D perfume has petitgrain surfleur in it, which is an essential oil that really helps to calm and soothe the emotions. It relaxes you. It helps you let go of anger. One of the things for today with this 1111 vibration and this frequency is you've got to really commit to just, and I'm not saying, this is not like, I'm not saying, you know, you have to be positive all the time, but you have to really commit to raising your vibration and maintaining your vibration. And noticing what brings your vibration down and how you might be able to transmute whatever that is to bring your vibration back to a higher frequency. And petitgrain does that. Pink peppercorn is like a turbo boost for your spiritual work. It really is. It's for clearing and transmutation, which is what we were just talking about, like kind of letting go and creating space. It also brings clarity. It brings courage. And it's very stimulating to the human body. So it helps to kind of stir those frequencies and emotions within you to help you raise your vibration. Star anise is for abundance. And because so many of you, and you know, star anise is literally shaped like a star, so many of you are manifesting abundance and prosperity. I thought, nah, that's kind of the right oil for this blend when we're working with 1111 frequencies and trying to attract abundance. Clary sage helps connect you with intimacy, sensuality, and deeper levels of partnership and awareness in partnerships. If you're working with this 1111 frequency to try to improve your relationships, clary sage is an important ingredient. Dark patchouli is money, as well as love and grounding. It's my favorite. So that's in there, because again, I know a lot of you are attracting love, a lot of you are attracting abundance. Frankincense is in here for purification and transportation. It really helps to take you from, again, that waking state of consciousness, that beta state, into those deeper levels of conscious awareness. And so frankincense is very important. There's cacao in here, cacao absolute, which is pure chocolate. And just a little, because it's a heart opener. And I think, again, manifestation is so much an act of desire, right? It's like, what do I want? What am I trying to attract? What is also seeking me? Like, if you open your heart, you can actually feel what's trying to call you in as well. Because manifestation is like 50% what you want, and it's 50% what the universe wants to bring you, don't you think? And so it's when the merging of those two things happen. And cacao is this really sacred, beautiful medicine that helps to sort of fuse those sides, or those hemispheres, if you will, of what the universe is bringing you and what you're attracting at the same time. And then there's elderflower in here for emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. Keeps you safe. It prevents low vibrations from reaching your auric field. And it's really hard to find. What's really sad is our original source for elderflower absolute is permanently closed. I don't have access to any more elderflower. So when 5D is sold out, it won't be something that I can remake for you. We have a few bottles of it left at sagegoddess.com if you would like it. I think the code for today is fall20, unless you're in our member program, so you guys have a special discount code. And then the Accelerate candle, I think we have like 3 dozen. Accelerate is made with 5D. So all the oils that are in that perfume, maybe you're not a perfume person, but you love a good candle. So all of those oils are in the candle. And the Accelerate candle, we have about 3 dozen left of those if you'd like one. Over at yeoldsagegoddess.com. Okay, so we've talked about the crystals, we've talked about the grid. One of the things I want you, when you are looking at your grid before we even begin the process, I want you to almost just meditate on the shape of this. We're going to be doing jewelry in this shape called the Penteract, because as I've been working with this grid, I've been having these really deep meditations, and it's been sort of taking my practice to a deeper level, and so I want you to start to work with it too. And what I want to tell you is we are only gridding with, I'm gridding with 9 stones today. I think you're gridding with 10 because you got 5 quartz points. I'm short 1, but you'll do 5. There are many more spaces on this grid for more crystals, so again, feel free to fill them all in and activate your grid with all the crystals. You don't have to just do what I'm doing. And if you don't have the tools, it might be good for you to actually like go on your computer, Google Penteract, and print one out and use that as your grid, because I do think there's magic in the shape. That's why we chose to focus our entire 11/11 ceremony on it. And then when you Google it, you know, you can do additional research and learn more about it. It's a fun way for you to visualize what really I think of as the complexity of these higher dimensions. When you get into the 4D, 5D geometries, they have many more lines and connections and synergies. It's a more complex energetic relationship that we find in the 5th dimension. And again, that's why I think a lot of us are attracted to this idea of higher dimensional experiences, and this is going to be a good tool to help you get started on that journey. Okay, so I'm going to burn some sage, just a little to kick us off. I want you to take a nice deep breath. Today is for you. I'm here for you. This is a free ceremony. It's a gift because I believe in today. I believe that whatever you call into your deeper consciousness today will be attracted into your field. Be mindful of your thoughts today, right? Only focus on what you really want today. And focus on it with some gratitude. Gratitude is the secret sauce. It really is. When you're grateful, have you ever noticed when you're grateful, everything seems to go more smoothly? It's when we get resentful and angry and frustrated and all of those lower vibration emotions that we kind of lose our way. So I'm going to bring that around me. Feels good. Up over my head. And then just taking a nice deep breath there. And I'm going to ask you tonight, you have your 5 quartz points. I'm going to ask you tonight to take your quartz points that you're working with for your grid. And I'm going to ask you to make a wish for each one of these points, what it's going to represent for you. Actually, you know what I'm going to do for my grid, because I'm missing one of these, is I'm going to work with a tangerine or a quartz point, which I have here. So I will do 5 right alongside you. I want you to take your 5 quartz points that you're going to grid with tonight. I want you to hold them in your left hand, put your right hand over, blow your breath over them. And I want you to, just for a moment, think about what are the, you know, because today is 11/11 in a 5-year, 2021, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. That's why we're doing 5 points, the Penteract grid, right? 5 is a number of wealth, and 5 is also a number of change, right? So when we want to change our current state, when we want to attract greater wealth, we work with 5. I want you to think about, there's lots of different forms of wealth, right? What are the 5 wishes you'd like to make on this 11/11? And I want you to take just a moment. And for me, I guess while I open the circle, this would be a great place for you to bring your attention. What are the 5 things that if I could wave this magic wand for you today, if I could bring those things to you instantly, what would they be? Right? Abundance of what? Of money, maybe. I also am always asking for abundance of time. Abundance of laughter and joy, abundance of health and comfort and ease, physical ease, right? Abundance of passion. Passion is my personal super juice. It's my fuel. I'm a passionate person. I try to surround myself with passionate people. I can't imagine living without passion. Physical, emotional, energetic, whatever. I get excited about things. So I'm always looking for an abundance of passion too, because it kind of, you know, makes my wheels spin. But whatever that is for you. I mean, it could be abundance of different things. Maybe it's an abundance of peace. Maybe it's an abundance of rest. Maybe it's an abundance of connection with your ancestors. right? What is it for you? I want you to think about that for just a moment. Breathe some life, some space into that. Because again, today's just about you. It's just about what is it that you're trying to bring in. Knowing that the whole universe has your back today. Right? The whole universe has your back today. So I'm going to light my accelerate candle. You're welcome to do the same thing. We're going to accelerate. I've already been burning mine. Just because I love it. It smells good, and I love the combination of the 5D oils. And then let's bring our 5D perfume over, and let's anoint as well. So a little bit at your wrist for what you do. A little bit at your third eye for what you know. And then a little bit at your ankles for where you go to bless your steps. And then if you want, you can put just a little bit on all your crystals too. So just touching the roller to each one of the crystals that I'm working with today, even my wand. I may have touched everything more than once, but that's okay. Too much is never enough. Okay. Have you started to crystallize what it is? The 5 things? I hate to limit you to 5. I'm not somebody who likes rules, and I don't like to limit you to things, but I do think 5 is kind of the number of the moment, right? Because we're in a 5-year, and so in the entire energy of this year is about that particular number. And I love 5. Even the human body, right? Your head, your arms, your legs, you're a star. The human body is shaped like a star, right? So when we see all these correlations and correspondences with the number 5, we have to look and say it's really just a matter of our physical form. Okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to open our circle, and I want you to try to keep as much of your focus as you can on those 5 things. And every time you bring your focus back to them, crystallizing them, imagining them already happening, right? If it's abundance that you're seeking, what will your life look like when that abundance is here? If it's love that you're seeking, how will you feel when that love is fully present in your life, right outside your door, right? If it's time and space or happiness, how will you feel when all of those higher vibration emotions, those gifts, when they come to you, how will you feel? And try to just sit in that feeling, because when you can feel something, that's how manifestation really happens. It starts as a thought, but then you have to embody it, right? So like, how will your heart feel? How will your skin feel? How will your, right? Everything comes alive when we think about receiving what we want. So let's open up our circle and call in our guides and guardians of our directions to be with us. And I'm so glad you're here. It's one of my favorite days of the whole year. And I do this because, like I said, I believe. My camera's like trying to figure out what color to make me because my drum is blue. And let's call in the guides and the guardians of those 5 directions, right? Keep that theme of 5 going all the way through. So let's begin calling in the guides and the guardians of the East. We welcome you in today on this beautiful 11/11 day of synchronicity to bring clarity, direction, a new beginning, a new cycle. Yeah. Everything's starting to come together for you. And then welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the South. Passion, transformation. In the South, we get fired up, right? In the direction of South, which aligns to midday energy, the sun is in the center of the sky, right? prosperity and flow live in the West too. Welcoming all of that today. And then in the North, welcoming in the guides and the guardians of peace, patience, presence, grounding, stability. Anchoring you in this here now moment, knowing that you're safe, you're held, you're known, and welcome in all those guides and guardians of the North. And last but not least, to the guides and the guardians of the spirit element, ether, right? Life force, the energy that gives us life, that animates us, that flows through you and me, connects us to each other. Yeah, that's the element of magic. We welcome them in. And with that, our circle is open, and together we say, Amen. Aho. And so it is. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Beautifully done, darling. Okay. So you've got your 5. Let's go over here. Let's do some gritting together, shall we? Isn't it fun? It's like, I love this day because it's like, it's space to dream. And we've all been in such a weird, not dreaming space for the last 2 years that it's like, I'm so ready to get back to that just like blue sky, full possibility, what is available, right? And anchoring a higher vibration. I'm just so ready for it. And I know you are too. And so it's just really cool to be with you today and to be able to do this together. So what we're going to do first, of course, when we grid, is we want to place our generator in the center. When we do that, this is your power source, right? So as we place this generator in the center, we want to set our primary intention here. And my primary intention, my personal primary intention for this 11/11 is to call in synchronicity into my life, magic, right place, right time energy, and to come back to a more fluid state of conscious awareness, to a state of hope and optimism in my life, and faith. And so I've got this sort of like broad umbrella of things that I'm calling in. And so I want you to think about, what is your main intention for today's ceremony? What do you want to feel, experience? Welcome in. And then I want you to take the 3 main crystals, right? The columbianite, the apophyllite, the dambarite, the scolasite, and the barite. And I want you to bless these crystals too. These are the worker bees of your grid. They really are, because these are the ones that hold the energy of deepening your conscious awareness, connecting you with energy of synchronicity, right, and ascension, helping you move past some of these dimensional barriers that might be complicating your manifestation process, frankly. And so I want you to place these 5 and watch what I do. Again, you have 10 points here in this first circle. So I'm going to place them 2 points apart, skipping 1, and then I'll put my columbianite, skipping 1, and then I'll put my scolasite, skipping 1, and then I'll put my apophyllite, and then skipping 1, and I'll put my dambarite. If you want to add more stones, you totally can do that. If you are at sagegoddess.com today, we have these really beautiful Congo citrine pieces. So, and I'm working prosperity medicine. I'm sure you are too. So I'm going to go ahead and put just 5 pieces of citrine, and partly because my grid's also for you. Like some of you might be watching, you don't have a grid. Okay, so you can work with my grid. And I'm also going to be holding this energy of prosperity and abundance for you too. We don't always have Congo citrine at Sage Goddess. We just got these in from Africa. So if you're interested, they're over at the website too. if you'd like some, and if you have your own pieces, then you can see what this looks like. Kind of completes it, right? And like I said, you could literally put points at every single termination if you want to, but I am going to have you put your 5 quartz points down now. And so I want you to, if you have 5 wishes, I would like you, as you place these, to focus on each wish as you put your quartz points down. Quartz is important to have at the edges of your grid, because what the quartz does is it basically takes this energy of this center generator and anchors it at the outer points. And so it encases the grid in energy. It basically creates a boundary of energy around the grid. And when we activate, we're connecting all those crystals together. So we're making like a web of energy. And that's what makes a grid powerful. It basically is like a web of harnessed energy that's fueled by your intention. And then when we do it on a day like 11/11, it's got extra juice because it's being done on this really important day of synchronicity. Okay. So I'm going to place my 5 points and set my 5 intentions right now. And again, you're skipping points. This is really good for my passion intention, don't you think? Because it's tangerine quartz, which is like total sacral chakra energy. So it's actually really good for the work that I'm doing. One of my intentions is world peace and collective healing for our planet. And I chose a double terminated quartz point for that because they're a little more powerful than single term. They send and receive energy. So this is going to be my universal, my collective global healing intention. And then I have a little scepter, because one of my intentions is around leadership. And so I'm placing this scepter point here. Scepters have represented leadership since Lemurian times. They were the tools of high priests and priestesses. So I'm placing my scepter there to represent that. I'm very happy with my grid, and I hope you are too. And like I said, even if you don't have a grid today, I'm going to, once I activate mine, I'm going to pull the point of my wand toward you, and you can then take that energy and infuse it into a crystal that you might have in your collection, or just bring it into your own energy field. I hope you'll stay and do the ceremony even if you don't have the tools, because I think the energy alone and your visualization and meditation is going to make things happen for you. I believe that with all my heart. Are you ready to activate? Let's do it. Okay. So I begin here in the center. And we always activate out, in, out, in, out, in. You can watch me do it. If you've taken my classes, I've taught gridding multiple times online. I teach a class called Crystal Masters that you can join anytime. But I've taught multiple sessions to them on gridding. So I have a specific technique that I follow, which is kind of pretty standard, I think, for most gridding practices. But if you watch me, you'll be able to catch on pretty easily. It's not too complicated. You ready? So I activate this grid on my behalf and on the behalf of the collective on this 11/11 day of divine synchronicity to bring my desires and visions into 3D, to bring these intentions from the higher dimensions and to manifest them here in the physical world. And so I activate quartz for magnification and out to quartz for magnification. So I always begin on this particular grid. This is east, and I like to begin in the east. You can begin anywhere you want though, but I'm going east first. So out to quartz for magnification, back to quartz for magnification, out to citrine for wealth and abundance, and back to quartz for magnification. And now just keep going around. Out to barite for deepening my state of conscious awareness, and back to quartz for magnification. And then out to quartz for magnification, again focusing on your intentions you're setting, and back to quartz for magnification. Out to citrine for abundance, back to quartz for magnification. Out to columbianite for activating higher dimensional frequencies, so important today, which includes your guides, your spirit guides, your light teachers and light beings, ancestors in the spirit world, all of them, angels, archangels. And back to quartz for magnification. Out to tangerine quartz for me, for passion. And back to quartz for magnification. Out to citrine for abundance, and back to quartz for magnification. Out to scolasite for spiritual evolution and advancement, and back to quartz for magnification. Out to quartz. Again, this is my global healing intention crystal, calling in physical healing, mental, emotional healing for all beings on this planet at this time. And back to quartz for magnification to citrine for abundance, and back to quartz for magnification to apophyllite. Again, for ascension, evolution, spiritual development, and back to quartz for magnification. Out to quartz for magnification, focusing on my intention here. And back to quartz for magnification, out to citrine for abundance, back to quartz for magnification, out to dambarite to remove unwanted energies that will be obstacles to this process, releasing those energies today, and back to quartz for magnification. And then I always like to end where I began, just to kind of close the circle of energy. So back out to this quartz point for magnification, and then back center, which completes the web. So we've gone all the way around. And so Great Spirit, God, Goddess, source of all wisdom in this universe, I ask that you activate this grid on my behalf, magnifying, charging these tools with my intention and my vision, pulling energies from the higher dimensions down into the material world here in third dimension where we can manifest them in real time. I ask that these intentions come to pass in perfect time and in full alignment with my highest good and the highest good of all beings on this planet at this time. And together we say, Amen, Aho. So it is. Feels good. Yeah? And now I send this to you, and you can take the energy of that crystal and touch a crystal to the screen if you want. Let me see if it's clearer if I just bring it full screen for you. You can touch a crystal to that. You can bring your hand to that just to receive that energy. That's the manifest energy of my own grid coming to you. So if you have intentions around passion or abundance or evolution or advancement or releasing things that are not in alignment for you, that point is holding all of that for you right now. Isn't that beautiful? And so it is, everybody. So it is. Now this grid is very important to me. I've been so excited to do this with you ever since we came up with the concept months ago. And so this grid is going to stay intact for me probably until 11/11 next year, truthfully, because there's no need to take it down. I have some grids, and a lot of you know this, that have been up for 20 years. Why would you take it down, right? So we ask our spirit guides to see us today. We ask that you send these desires and these intentions up on eagle's wings, on angel's wings. Take this energy back through those dimensional portals. We give you permission to begin the process of bringing all that we see. And as I'm drumming, focusing again on your 5 wishes today, imagining that there's just a big magic wand that's just bringing all that to you right this minute. It's your cosmic order. Call it in. You know how to do this. I claim, I receive, I enjoy, I visualize, I envision my abundance, my health, our collective health, right? Whatever it is you're calling in. And I ask that you see my So it is. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. To all of those energies and frequencies and vibrations. I'm waiting for my camera to go back to the normal color. That blue drum just really does a number on it. Let me try to show it something else so it'll come back to our... Maybe it's going to leave me pink for a little while. I don't know. It's okay. I can be pink. So we have our grid. Everything is set up. Like I said, I would recommend that you leave this. If you decide you want to add something to it or take something away from it, you do want to deactivate it, change it, and then reactivate it. Deactivating just means everything I did clockwise there, you're going to do the same thing but counterclockwise to release the energy from that grid. So that's important for you to know, because sometimes you will want to deactivate a grid. The best time to deactivate a grid is the new moon, by the way. When you're ready to take this down, because the new moon is like your cosmic clean slate. That's when we kind of get this recycle of energy. So I always deactivate grids at the new moon. And I'm going to leave my candle burning all the way through today. I've got class this evening. If you're in Crystal Masters, have fun. I'm teaching you channeling tonight. A little bit about channeling. 2 hours worth about channeling, and we're going to do some active channeling today. So I'm going to leave that candle lit just because I want to hold the frequency and the vibration. So I will look forward to continuing a little bit of this divine work on synchronicity and manifestation when we see each other this evening. All right. How you feeling? Aligned? In the flow? I hope so. I wish that for you. May it all come to pass. You know, the most important thing is faith. And the thing that you have to watch out for is doubt. When I'm manifesting something big, and I have manifested a lot. I really have. I have to say, in fact, there's never been something I wanted in my life that I didn't manifest. When I wanted to improve my relationship, I did that. When I wanted to improve my health, I did that. When I wanted to improve my finances, I did that. I found my home, I found my building for Sage Goddess, right? Like, it all kind of like, when you get into the flow, what is meant for you arrives. It really does. So, and what I can tell you as somebody who really has manifested pretty much everything I've wanted in this life so far, is that the most important thing is you don't get into that place of doubt. And so when I'm manifesting something really big, I don't talk about it very much. Because what I don't want is people going, well, that's not realistic. And then you're like, yeah, you're right, that's not realistic, right? I mean, honestly, Sage Goddess wasn't realistic. I mean, what even was it? Nobody did what I do when I started, right? So it looked like the craziest thing. Now everybody in the world has a crystal shop, right? But it's like when I was starting, people were like, you're going to do what? With what? Why? Right? So if I listened to every person who said, well, that's not realistic, you shouldn't do that, like, you know, we wouldn't even be sitting here together. So to hell with realistic. But what I will say is, if you're going to have people in your ear kind of questioning things, just hold your magic close to you for a little while until it starts to manifest. Once things manifest, then people are like, oh yeah, I always believed in you, I always knew that was possible. And it's like, did you though? So when people are all happy to celebrate when things happen, but when magic is in progress and it kind of looks like a shit show, as it can sometimes, people will be like, I don't think you should do that. So anyway, sometimes your bigger magic needs to be kept a little close to your chest, if you know what I mean. And it's nice to have magic that you're working on that's kind of secret for you. Don't you like that? I believe in a little mystery and a little magic and a little bit of the unknown. I think it's powerful. And I still like to surprise myself. One of my lifelong intentions, and I haven't been able to announce it yet, but hopefully I will before Thanksgiving, one of my lifelong dreams just happened for me about a month ago. And a lot of people say, well, I've been setting intentions for 20 years and nothing's happened. And it's like, well, this intention for me is more than 20 years old. But I kept putting energy toward it, and at 11:11 dreaming of it and focusing on it, and lo and behold, I really don't think anything's impossible. I think we are limited by other people's opinions and our own imagination. I really do. But if there's something that you really want, hold on to that dream. Keep putting energy toward it, and don't lose your hope. Hope is also the fuel of intention setting and manifestation. Your desire, your hope, like just re-energizes everything that you're trying to attract to yourself. So don't lose that. It's very important. So let's release these guides and guardians who've been sitting with us now for all of this time. We're so grateful. And so we're going to begin where we ended. We're going to let go and release the energy of the guides and the guardians of the spirit element of magic and transformation, the ones who make it all happen. We thank and release those guides and guardians. So much gratitude to the element of spirit. And then thanking and releasing the guides and guardians of the earth element for grounding us, connecting us across space and time, allowing us to be here together in this ceremony on this sacred day. And we thank you and release you with gratitude. To the guides and the guardians of the West, we thank you and release you as well. Thank you for helping us understand flow, getting into that divine water state of prosperity today. Thank you for helping us trust the process and overcome doubt. All that happens in the West. We release you with gratitude. And thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the South, energies of transformation and courage. You got to be strong. You got to have faith. You got to have courage. You got to have fire in your belly. All of that sits in the South. And so we thank you today to the guides and the guardians of the South for bringing all of that our way. And then last but not least, thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the East, helping us open this new cycle of prosperity, abundance, joy, health, alignment, ease, peace, whatever it is you've been calling in today. I'm standing with you in that intention. And we thank the guides and the guardians of the East for giving us these visions and the clarity we need, elevated perspective to see our goals and visions through their process. And we release you with gratitude. And with that, another 11/11 is in the books, everybody. Cheers. Well done. Thank you for spending a few minutes of this divine holiday of synchronicity with me. What a pleasure, truly, to witness you and to be your soul sister on this journey. It's a joy for me. A lot of you have been with me for the whole 10 years, and I've seen a lot of you through all of your process too. Some of you might be brand new, and welcome in, by the way. What a fun time to find Sage Goddess. And so I'm glad that you're here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel before you leave today. And if you like the video, a little thumbs up is always nice. And so I will look forward to seeing you soon. If you're in Crystal Masters, class is happening this evening, so I hope you're going to be there with me for that experience. If you would love to learn about crystal healing, sagegoddess.com/programs is the link, sagegoddess.com/programs, to learn about my online classes, which I teach all the time. I'll be teaching classes all the way through 2022, and those will be launching soon. So we'd love to have you. And then if you were like, I really want that candle or that perfume from today's kit, or maybe some of that Congo citrine from Africa, sagegoddess.com, and then you'll find your discount code when you go to the website. Make sure you enter that code at checkout and enjoy. Those could be fun gifts for holiday too. If you know somebody who's really trying to manifest, like put a little manifestation kit together for them as a gift. Wouldn't that be fun? And thoughtful, and so appreciated, I'm sure, for people in your life who are trying to create something new as well. Share this magic with them. You're welcome to share this video with them. And may all of you be blessed, truly. And not just this holiday season and this year, but for all the days and months and years to come. I wish that for you. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you, Crystal Masters, in just a few hours. Happy 11/11, everybody. Take good care. It's also Veterans Day. I do want to take a moment just to say that I have so many veteran heroes in my life, people who have fought for the freedom that I enjoy. I had the real pleasure of being a professor for 15 years before I started Sage Goddess, and a lot of my students, especially my doctoral students, were active service members who had leadership positions in the military and then gone back to finish their higher education. And it was always an honor to interact with those students in particular. Born leaders, right? Fearless, courageous, strong, smart, committed, passionate people. So cheers to all of our veterans. Thank you for your service. And also to the families of veterans for all the sacrifices that you have made in your life, because there are many. I see you as well today. And we wish you all the best. All right, you guys take good care. Happy 11/11. I'll see you soon.